Hi, it's Lethea from Farm View Creators. Today we're going to work on part 2 of the Snowflake barn quilt ladder. I'm not really sure what this pattern is called. I'm just calling it abstract. I found an image that I liked on Google and I printed it off. I like to print off my patterns and just mark them up. So I figured out that it was a 10 by 10, did my math to figure out where I needed to put my tick marks along my edges on a 12-inch board. This is ACM. I primed it with one coat of Kilz after giving it a sanding. I get my ACM from Piedmont Plastics, and I'm just going around all 4 edges and marking my grid lines. I don't draw the full grid lines. I ended up doing it on my pattern just to help myself. The pattern was a little distorted, so it gave me a little bit of thinking when I was trying to do it, but I love to think and I love using my brain, and I like challenges. So, and then I'm using my erasable colored pencils to draw out my pattern. I use the erasables just because they do erase on ACM much better than a pencil. Plus, the graphite in a regular pencil sometimes over time will show through on your board. This is the backside of the second piece of my Nativity barn quilt ladder. I am making these so that they are double-sided. I'm going to take the flowers that I had up all summer and spring, and I'm going to do a fall pattern on the backside of those. That way I'll have something for every season of the year. I really like this pattern. I wish I knew the official name of it, and maybe somebody can help me out with that. I had a bunch of snowflake options, and my husband actually picked this one out, so I'm kind of excited that it's a family project. So there I just erased any lines that went over. I do kind of eyeball it as I go, so some of my lines will be short and long, but it's so much easier just to erase that than it is to erase all of the grid lines if you draw them all out. So I did mask the backside edges just in case I have any bleed over. And I am going around and laying out my frog tape. And I am laying it slightly to the side of my marks so that I know that I'm going to cover that line. And then I'll use my Utility Pro my Work Pro utility knife to cut away the tape where it overlaps. When I first started doing barn quilts, I would not do this. I would just tape a spot, and if it overlapped with another spot of the same color, I would wait until the first one's dried and then tape again, and you would retape like 4 or 5 times just for one color. But I watch a lot of Talara Parrish's videos from Barn Quilt Headquarters, and this was one of the tips and tricks that I learned from her videos, and it has saved me so much time. So now I'm going to go in with my Snowbound, trying to brush away from those edges or corners, but also along those edges because that seals the frog tape. Doing a very, very thin layer of this and then doing another layer. I actually did 3 layers. The paint is a Valspar Satin interior paint. It's one of the samples from my local hardware store, and it works beautifully. Don't worry that it's interior and this is going outside because the top coat is going to seal it all in beautifully. And now I'm using my weeding tool just to pull up that tape, and oh, I love it already. Then I'm going to go in and basically tape off the opposite. So I'm masking the Snowbound paint so that I can go in with my next blue. Just cutting away anywhere that I still need to paint. And then I'm going to keep those little scraps because I tend to overbrush, and so I will try to fill in every little space even if tape doesn't originally cover it, just so that I don't accidentally get my blue over top of it. And I did use my metal ruler a lot to guide my my knife when I was cutting. A lot of times I can freehand it, but on this one I was just having trouble getting those long lines straight, so I just decided to be a perfectionist and use my ruler, and that's okay. just kind of cutting away any tape that's that I pulled off too long, basically, which happens. But again, I try to keep all those little pieces off to the side, and you'll see I'll use them on different projects. Now I'm going to go in with Deep Sea Blue and my Prudy paintbrush and try to paint away from the edges as much as possible, also along the edge of the tape. That seals it all up, and then I'm going to give that 2 layers before I start peeling it up. And once it's completely dry, I'm going to pull up that tape using my weeding tool and trying very carefully not to nick the white paint underneath. If I do, it's okay. I'm here going in and doing my touch-ups. I always have touch-ups. And that corner and line was a little bit jagged. For some reason, when I pulled up my tape with the Snowbound, it almost wanted to pull up the paint that was laid down. I don't know if it was because the Kilz was not fresh on the backside or not, but it was fixed, so it's all good. But most of the time I do my touch-ups with freehand. So I'm going to go in with my Minwax Spar-urethane. This is water-based. You have to use water-based. I am doing it as soon as it's dry. I put it on, 1 coat, boom. And there it is on my ladder. I love, love, love it. And here it is with the first snowflake. I cannot wait to get to the next 2. If you liked this, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.